What's going on, guys? It's the Filthy Casual, back with another Diablo 3 video. Today we're going to have a look at the 2.6.5 PTR. I'm going to give a bit of a review of it, talk about some issues that arise from it, what my thoughts were, what my feelings were, that kind of thing. Now if you did join over the PTR, thank you and welcome to the channel. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, make sure you're notified of all my future videos. In the background we're going to have some LON Frozen Necromancer Corpse Explosion build. It's pretty strong, so I'll link that in the cards and in the description, and I'll also put in the description the timestamps for what we're going to talk about, because I'm not entirely sure how long this video is going to last. I'm not sure everybody wants to hear everything. So issue 1 we're going to talk about is going to unfortunately be the angry part of the video. I'm going to have a bit of a rant about the stash tabs and the controversy around them. I'm going to talk about the season theme in general, how I think that's going to play out, how it feels, that type of thing. Going to have a chat about T16, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing for the game, how it feels, how it plays, and then finally I'm going to cover some undocumented changes that may or may not make it into 2.6.5 and kind of some implications off the back of them. So as I say, everything's date stamped or time stamped in the description, so let's get into it. Now let's start with the angry stuff, the stash tabs. Now the search function in stash is pretty good. I quite like the way it greys everything out. You can't search for specific items, which sucks, as in like you can't just type in boots. It's got to be in the name of the item you're looking for, but you know, it's still a huge improvement. Having the extra 5 tabs was brilliant. You know, it really helps with space. This is a game that is 6-7 years old. You've got 7 classes. Each class has got 4 sets. You've got LON for most of the classes. So there's quite a lot of items that you need to fit in. You might want to save a couple of primals, that sort of thing. So really, the players need this space. It shouldn't really be a luxury, it is a necessity. So it's no wonder everybody was rejoicing and said it's absolutely awesome that we're getting these 5 stash tabs for free. Finally Blizzard has done something good. But in case you didn't know, they've gone and mucked it up. What they've said is that they didn't mean to give us the 5 stash tabs. That's just for testing. You're going to have to earn them all through the season journey. That's going to take you about 18 months and it just sucks. It's a real problem with expectation management. I think it's really off to give players the 5 stash tabs, drop the patch notes, say you're going to do it, and then to basically U-turn on it. Now, a few people commented on the message boards and on the forum saying that this is just cynical. It's just to get people to play seasons, and it's hard to look past that. A couple of excuses or potential reasons given have been it might take up too much space. I don't buy that for a second. I think that's complete garbage. And then the second one is that it might be an issue that crashes the game. Neverlist has posted on the forum saying that was an issue, but nobody's been able to confirm it. So again, some people on there are saying she's lying. You can draw your own conclusions, but really I think enough excuses. The stash tabs were promised, they were put in the notes, and fine, PTR does say subject to change, but that's for balancing issues. It shouldn't be for quality of life. I think expectation wise, if they just said at the start you can earn an extra tab per season, then I think everybody probably would have been cool with it. But once you've given something, to then take it away feels pretty shitty. So Blizz, just give us the stash tabs back, let us buy them with gold. It's just the right thing to do. And on a weird note, console players don't have to earn stash tabs, so they get them for free. Now, I don't really see that as a bad thing for console because you can't get extra stash space from doing your season journey there, so maybe that swings and roundabouts. The only saving grace I've got for this is maybe if they swap the season length to 2 months, then it's not going to take you that long to get them, but even then I still think they should just be reinstated as full. Everybody can buy them with gold when they log on. So let me know in the comments, are you as pissed as I am about this, or do you think it's fair enough to earn them in the season journey? So on to topic 2, the season theme. Now, from a personal perspective and selfish perspective, I think this is going to be really good. I think it's going to be really interesting. I'm planning on playing Necromancer, and I think they're going to get an awful lot of value out of this LON buff. It's going to be quite fun, I think, to get to 17 to start looking for Ancients. It kind of extends the period of time where you're looking for things that will improve your build, and the game is an RNG based game, so I think that's pretty nice. What I would say though is that it's not that great for many other classes. Now Necro at the moment has got its top build as LON. Now it's a pet thorns build, so alright, it's not great, but you can run LON corpse lance, you can run LON mages. They're both very quick and very strong. You know, I've made my 3 speed builds, which are all fairly decent, using either Corpse Explosion or Death Nova. So there's plenty of options for Necro, and it's a pretty good season theme. But if you look at something like the Demon Hunter, I just don't see them using it at all. There are no decent LON Demon Hunter builds that have cropped up during PTR. I haven't seen any videos on any, and given the strength of all the Demon Hunter sets, I'm not sure people will be bothered to go out of their way to do that. So really, it's a bit of a shame. 1 out of 7 classes can't really use this season theme. So, you know, if you're a Demon Hunter player, let me know, is this good, is it bad, does it piss you off? Should the season theme be equally applicable? Because it's a bit of a missed opportunity really. They've taken a pass at some legendaries. It wouldn't have been that hard to pick 1 or 2 of the useless, I don't know, Demon Hunter quivers or, you know, crossbows, and just added something that would buff a skill that isn't used and have a go at it. So I think it's a bit of a poor effort. But as I say, personally, I think the season theme will be a lot of fun. I'm planning on playing it a lot, and I think I'm going to really enjoy it. So topic 3 is Torment 16. Now this might well be a bit of a controversial one. When I first started playing it, I absolutely hated it. I thought it was far too difficult and too hard. But obviously I'm a bit of a casual player, and as you'll note from any of my PTR footage, I only had about 700 Paragon. I think certain classes are going to deal with T16 a lot better, but having given it a chance for a bit, you know what, you get used to it basically. What I would say is you're going to have to go in with a proper build. You can't just chuck anything together, it's got to be an on-point build. The difficulty level I'd say probably is about approaching GR80, not the 75 that the game suggests, because I found that I could do GR75 very quickly, very easily. When it got to T16, particularly the Rift Guardian started to, you know, it was noticeably slower. Now I think all classes, particularly for this season, will have no problems. You'll be able to get a build that will be able to speed, you know, 80, 85, and thus do T16 very quickly. But for more casual players, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. And I think the Necro sets in general will struggle to get up there as quick as the other classes, you know, will do. Now some of the changes are cool, like the extra DBs for elites is really handy. I think DBs are going to be floating about like nobody's business, especially with this Sage's set change. One thing I would say is there need to be more keys at the end. Given the extra difficulty, it didn't really feel like I was getting particularly many more keys from doing T16. You know, I think it's either 2 or 3 drop at the end, and I think it really should be guaranteed 3 keys and a potential for a 4th. So, you know, that's something that I'd change. Also, whilst talking about T16 and mats, the bounty mats for a T16 will give you 22 of the craftable rare mats, so the stuff that you'll do rerolls with. That's probably okay. I would have hoped for a little bit more, but what is really low is they've added DBs to these things, and they may as well not bothered because you only get 6. So 6 DBs out of a bounty bag, I just think is rubbish. It's not worth it. It should be about 30 or 40 or probably even 50 to be fair, because bounties are rubbish, they take ages, no one wants to do them. At least give us 50 DBs for taking the time to bother. I think one also useful thing is it's going to change like the kind of early game up to like Paragon 400 say, because you will be able to chill out in sort of T16 for a bit. Normally speaking, once you know, get up to about 400 Paragon, T13 becomes a bit kind of redundant. You stop gaining Paragon levels for doing it. So, you know, at least that will be extended for T16, because it is kind of nice sometimes to just play normal rifts, have legendaries drop, have gold drop, you know, and see all that kind of stuff. So I think in overall it's probably good for the game, and I'm saying that with a view to the fact that I think they will buff items later and they will essentially make T16 easier, so we will have a power creep probably across other classes, other sets. I mean, if it's left in this state forever and there's no more balance changes, I don't know, I'm not sure it is such a great thing, but I'm going to make the assumption that there will be further buffs in the future to help some of the classes or sets who won't perform quite as well to bring them up to par. So this brings us to the final topic, which is some undocumented changes. Now these are a bit weird and I'm not sure whether they will make it in or not. 2 of them I strongly suspect won't, because they've said that they were bugs. So the first one that I covered was the Shadow nerf. It looked like Shadow had gone down to 65,000%. My understanding is that that was a bug, it wasn't supposed to be in there. It's not going to be changed for next season, so obviously we'll just have to wait and see on that. And the other one that I picked up was the Reaper's Wraps. These have been changed so that instead of getting 30% primary resource for a health globe, you got 100%. You know, if that did make it in, it would make Lon mages absolutely ridiculous. But again, my understanding is that it's a bit of a bug. It's not supposed to be there. You know, and I'm absolutely fine with them messing around with items. I want them to do that. I want the game to change. But what I don't want them to do is to just say, oh, that's a bug. That wasn't, you know, at least be honest. Just say, look, we're thinking of changing it, or we've been messing around, some internal testing. Don't say it's a bug, because, you know, I just don't think that it is. It's weird. Well, I don't get it. And then the last unannounced change, which could be quite a big one and quite relevant for Season 17, is that if you did the Challenge Rift during the PTR and you opened your Challenge Rift bag, instead of it having 10 DBs plus all the bounty mats, you actually got 35. Now, if that makes it into 2.6.5 and Season 17, I think that's going to be really cool, because it's going to give people a bit more incentive to do the Challenge Rift. Not much, but a bit more. But it's really going to help out with leveling, because what it will mean is that you'll be able to craft a level 70 item and potentially stick it in the cube. And, you know, thinking about it for Necro, that would be awesome. You could get a two-handed scythe, you could get Phylactery. You know, the loot pool's pretty tight, so there are some good items that you could get. That would really help you out whilst leveling, make you considerably more powerful. Other classes you're relying on RNG a lot more, because, you know, like Wizard Wands for instance, there's loads of useless ones in the pool. So, you know, for some classes it's not going to make much of an impact, but that's a change I'd like them to implement. The other two I think probably won't. But, you know, let me know, do you think any of those changes, would you like to see any of them in the game, or do you think, no, let's just leave it as it is? So in summary, I think I'm quite happy with the changes. I think it's nice to get some kind of balance change. I think the season theme is going to be something I'm going to use. You know, I'm fairly happy with it. Obviously I want more changes for the next patch and for the next season, but provided we get a little bit of content, a little bit of change and shake up, then I think I'm going to be quite happy. But how do you guys feel about the PTR? Do you think it was good? Do you like the changes? And be sure to let me know what class you're going to play next season. Now for future content, I'm going to start prepping for Season 17, so you're going to start to see some build guides for Jade and Inarius hopefully over the next few weeks. I'm going to do a season starter guide, so what class I think is going to be the fastest, so make sure you look out for that. But as always guys, I've been Filthy Casual. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, it really helps me out, and subscribe if you want to see some more videos, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.